I've waited 30 years for this.
Yeah, she's been waiting 30 years. I've been waiting 12 to play the Clone Wars again. Damn, it's been 12 years since the OG Battlefront 2. That doesn't feel good, does it? Star Wars Battlefront 2 has finally been revealed, which means I can finally toss my NDA out the window and discuss everything. I'm just kidding. There is so much that has not been revealed about Star Wars Battlefront 2 that I cannot talk about because I signed an NDA. And don't worry, if EA is watching, don't worry guys, I've triple checked this video to make sure that I don't break it. Anyway, this video is going to be a complete breakdown of everything the internet knows about Star Wars Battlefront 2. What have they changed and improved upon since the last Battlefront? What new content have they added? How much content is there? And how about a breakdown of the gameplay? What's the gameplay like? Is it deeper? What are the new features? Who are the confirmed heroes? What are the vehicles? What are the planets? And let's not forget about the single player campaign and pricing models. Basically, this is your complete guide to Star Wars Battlefront 2 until I make my next Battlefront 2 guide when what's currently under NDA is no longer under NDA. These are the guides you're looking for. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut down on the references. I'm going to be quick and concise with this video, so let me start with the basics. Battlefront 2 is releasing the 16th of November this year, or if you buy the deluxe edition, you get it 3 days early on the 13th. And this is huge, by the way. Battlefront 2 does not have a season pass.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
They accidentally revealed that during the game reveal. But going off of that alone, it looks like they may be going for a Titanfall 2 DLC model, which would be fantastic. Since single player and multiplayer are equally important in terms of focus in Battlefront 2, and they've just got so much content to talk about, I'm going to split them into 2 sections for ease of analysis. First off, multiplayer. Developed by DICE, of course. We've got the same maximum player count, which is 40 for ground battles and 24 for space/atmosphere battles. And we haven't heard about server browsers yet. Now for something huge. Electronic Arts described it as Revel in deep class-based online gameplay, and that's what it is. They have brought classes back in a big way. Battlefront 2 features class-based multiplayer. The classes being Assault, Officer, Heavy, and Specialist, and the names are pretty descriptive as to their role on the battlefield. Also, gameplay and visuals can be customized within those classes to fit your playstyle and personality. Customization is something else that's pretty huge, but I'm going to talk about that in a second. One of the reasons class-based gameplay was added is because it just complements team play so well. And team play is something else that's going to be a focus of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Speaking of team play, there's offline co-op mode, where you can play split screen with your friends. The mode's going to be a little similar to Skirmish of Battlefront 2015, but revamped and improved. Not only can you customize normal troopers, but also starfighters and heroes as well. They can be modified or upgraded to suit your playstyle, and in some cases you can actually modify or upgrade them to accentuate their strengths of class or type. And you can customize guns. You're going to be able to modify parts of your weapons, and additionally, I wouldn't be at all surprised if weapons featured unique attributes, like the weapons that were added at the end of Battlefront 2015. Reloading instead of overheating, secondary fire, transforming guns. Those are great ideas, and I think we'll see them again. The pickup system has also been changed, meaning that you cannot find hero pickups on the map anymore. Instead, there's a resource-based system, which is kind of like a in-match currency for performing well. But you'll have to make the tough decisions like, am I going to save for a hero? Am I going to get a tauntaun that I can ride? Or maybe use it for something else that I can't talk about because it hasn't been announced yet. Bottom line, they're developing for breadth and depth, focusing on gameplay that you can go deeper with. I like that. And of course, we have all eras. Prequel, sequel, original trilogy, everything. And yes, your trooper will be appropriate to the era. If you're playing as the good guys in the Clone Wars, obviously you're going to be playing as clone troopers. How they're able to create all these assets it's really impressive. I don't know exactly what Republic, Separatist, First Order, or Resistance troops are going to be in the game yet, but I want droidekas, super battle droids, magnet bodyguards, Rex, Commander Cody, Hellfire, the Tread thing. And yes, those last two are droids, not vehicles, because they have brains and no pilots. The confirmed planets that I can talk about that we've either seen in concept art or screenshots or the trailer are Hoth, Endor, Taboo, Camino, Starkiller Base, Jakku, Tagadana, Yavin 4, Vardos, which is a brand new planet introduced in Battlefront 2, and a lot of people are thinking this planet is Scarif because they're mistaking this shipyard for a shield gate. My bet is this planet is Kuat. Kuat's shipyards are the primary source of the Empire's Imperial Star Destroyer fleet, so it makes sense that this would be a space battle mission. Battlefront 2 at launch will have more planets than Battlefront 2015, even counting DLC. That's amazing! And there's no season pass. So far, confirmed heroes are Luke, Rey, Kylo Ren, Yoda, Darth Maul, Darth Vader, Han Solo, and people are thinking that we're getting Jango Fett and Obi-Wan as heroes because of this image with their vehicles. I'm thinking that at some point they will be heroes that you can play as on foot, but at launch they're going to be Obi-Wan's Starfighter and Jango Fett's Slave One. They're going to be vehicle heroes. That's what I think. Maybe I'll be wrong. Not all the heroes, both on foot and vehicle, have been announced yet, so there are more to come, and obviously there's going to be more in the future added as free DLC. But you may be wondering, where's the Emperor? Where's Leia? Where's Boba Fett? Well, you see, the heroes have been revamped. Their gameplay has been changed. It's more physical. It feels better. But because the whole system has been changed, that means they can't just take the old heroes into the new Battlefront. It's not like the original Battlefront 1 and 2 where they're basically the same and the heroes are cookie cutters of one another. The heroes in Battlefront 1 and 2, EA, are very unique. They've got very unique attributes, very unique skill sets, and now that the hero system is being revamped and the gameplay is being changed, they can't simply just carry them over. But the fact that you'll be able to customize heroes to your playstyle and your personality is fantastic! Hero customization, Starfighter customization, and Trooper customization. Also, space battles! Space battles are being developed by Criterion, and they are a focus of development. They are not an afterthought. They're focusing on making space battles a core component of the game where you'll be able to play them as often as you played Walker Assault. It's not going to be a one-off game mode that you play every once in a while like Fighter Squadron. If you enjoy playing in Starfighters, you can main playing in Starfighters if that is what you want to do. And being a huge fan of ships and starfighters in Star Wars and flying games in general, I couldn't be more happy about this. I was an enormous fan of Fighter Squadron, even as it was, compared to how much better it is here, and it's so much tighter, so much more refined. It feels right, and it's going to be expanded in more ways that I can't talk about. But hopefully I will be able to talk about it soon, so stay tuned for my EA Play Battlefront video. The great thing about Star Wars Battlefront 2 is that they're building it from the ground up with the idea that you can play what you want to play. If you like single player, there's a solid, full single player experience. If you like being a soldier in the midst of a battle, there's gonna be a lot of game modes that focus on that in a really big way. If you like playing as heroes and being a Jedi or maybe being a Sith Lord, you're gonna be able to fulfill that fantasy as much as you'd like. And if you like Starfighters, they got you covered with that, with a full experience of flying in Starfighters, and you can play any one of these things I just mentioned as your main experience. And you don't have to worry about what happens to be your favorite thing to play in Battlefront being an afterthought, because it's very balanced in terms of quality and content. As a huge Star Wars fan, a lifelong Star Wars fan, Tauntauns, Rontos, I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. They're looking to make the maps just feel alive. The worlds feel alive. They want it to feel like you're playing in a living galaxy, and that's something that's very important to me because sometimes I just like to play on a 120-inch projector screen with surround sound and experience these battles or experience these planets. Like, I'm that little trooper. I'm that stormtrooper there, navigating through this battlefield, killing terrorists, protecting the noble emperor. And all the steps that they're taking to make it feel like you're playing in a living galaxy is huge to me. Also, the UI, the fact that they're changing the entire branding of Battlefront to feel Star Wars instead of like a coffee table book, aces. So I'm going to just summarize the high points of multiplayer before I go into single player real quick. DICE is focusing on width and depth. They don't want it to be narrow and they don't want it to be shallow. Gunplay has been changed to have a higher skill ceiling. You can modify guns. You can modify and have progression with everything. All classes, heroes, starships, everything has progression and upgrades, so you can customize whatever you like to your playstyle. We have more planets at launch than Battlefront 2015 ever did. Space battles are a focus. We have all eras and no season pass. Now then, moving on to single player, which is developed by EA's new studio, Motive. Great, awesome people working at Motive. I've got a lot of faith in them. So the campaign is canon. It's now a part of Star Wars lore in the Star Wars universe. You're following Inferno Squad, which is an Imperial Special Forces unit led by Iden Versio, your main character. The campaign is split up into chapters. It follows the story of Iden Versio immediately after the Return of the Jedi, and it fills in the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, a 30-year gap. But you're not just going to be playing as Iden throughout the campaign, you're going to have opportunities where you can play as heroes like Luke Skywalker or Kylo Ren. And there's probably going to be more, but they haven't mentioned who yet. It's good to keep surprises. Some people have been saying this is a campaign that features co-op or offline co-op, but it's a single-player campaign, so just to dispel that. In June, they're going to be releasing a book that's a direct tie-in to this Battlefront 2 campaign, and it's called Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad. And it's not going to be like the original Battlefront book, where it was kind of made for no reason. This was made